Yo, what's going on, good people? This is Smitty here. This video is going to be talking about EA Sports, EA Sports in the combat game. You know what I'm saying? First, I just want to hit briefly on their MMA title. The game is great. The game, at least to me, is better than both UFC Undisputed '09 and 10 in terms of gameplay mechanics and as well as respecting all the different martial arts and the different moves and disciplines. The game is very clean. It's very fluid in movement. You know, like when it comes to grappling and clinch game and moving from position to position, reversals, everything. Outside of the way fighters move around the ring, they move pretty quick. You know, like in terms of footwork. But outside of that, like all the other mechanics, even the submission game, I mean, it's all very interesting how they tie in the stamina with the different type of games, if you want to call it, how you would get out of submissions or actually pull off and execute the submission. So, like that game to me on an overall is a great game for it being their first effort on top of it. The only reason why it doesn't have the mainstream success of a UFC game, is because of the Strikeforce brand that's backing the game, and a lot of people can't identify with a lot of the fighters because they don't see them on regular, they don't see them on basic cable or what have you. As like you can see, if you just watch Spike TV or Versus, you can see UFC all day. They have UFC events and things of that nature from past and present that they show. So, I mean, that's something, that's a very big factor right there. And they're using past fighters or fighters that are past their prime, or, that to really carry that game's popularity. That being Randy Couture, and Fedor. I mean, Fedor, don't get me wrong, Fedor still, he is in his prime still, but he's lost some of that popularity that he once had a few years ago. So, but nevertheless, I just commend them for that game. And but I want to get to the bulk of this video, which is the Fight Night title. Now, on the verge of Fight Night Champion coming out within the next month and a half, I should say. March 1st is the release date. I mean, I have to give EA their just due. I mean, this is the boxing games from Knockout Kings back in '98, all the way up till now. This is the only series that EA honestly has in which they have honestly made improvements all the way across the board for every single title, all the way up to now, with no direct market competition on top of it. I mean, they have made gameplay refinements, um, you know, uh, added different features, different presentation features as well here and there. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, really, the main thing for me is just the gameplay enhancement. They have honestly done a great job with that throughout all these years of putting out the game. And you got to remember, like now, as of late, you see that they put out a fight night every 2 years. At least that's been the pattern. But if you look back then on PlayStation 2, these guys have been putting out the same. These guys were putting out a game every single year. You know what I'm saying? And the gameplay was still very solid. So I mean, I can't get mad at it. Like, it's a really good game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really shown over the years that it was a good game. But there, like I've seen some videos out here, and on YouTube, and I've seen that it seems that some people are kind of taking a guess at what's going to be in the game or what's going to be improved upon in terms of gameplay. So, like, I have the article here from Operation Sports, and I'm just going to hit on a few other details. But I'm gonna post the link for the article in the description, and please check it out. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that don't know, like, what's truly been worked on in terms of the gameplay aspect. But check. Let's see. I'm gonna give it to you right here. Like, I'm gonna just talk about just a few things in here real quickly. Um, because there's a secondary point I want to make. Now, first thing is the full spectrum punching control now. Now, the way you punch, basically what they say is that the way you punch now is just going to be a flick of the analog stick. No longer do you have to basically do the half circles or anything like that to perform crosses and hooks and things of that nature. So all you'll be doing is just flicking the analog stick in the respective direction of the fighter, and it'll give an honest response to the direction you throw it. So whatever angle you flick the stick at, they're saying that it's going to give you that kind of response. Like they're going to punch at that angle. They're going to throw that kind of punch at the particular angle. Also, one of the main things I really like that they brought back, and I remember it from the first Knockout Kings, is the one punch knockout. You know what I'm saying? Like that was something that they honestly needed to have in this game, because that's a part of boxing. You can have somebody that's getting lit up for like 10 rounds, and then they come out in the 11th and they get that one solid clean shot, and then bam, fight's over. So I'm glad they brought that in, and also the state in which you get stunned in. It now also, depending upon how badly it is, you can be stunned for as little as a few seconds up to nearly the whole round. Especially if you take a good beating and you nearly get knocked out, and then you go to your corner and then you come back out and you still on them shaky legs. That's what like you've seen happen if you're a boxing fan. You've seen that happen in fights, in fights past. So that's something they added into it. And let me see. Just another thing that I'm gonna talk about is, oh yeah, they made a modifier for the punching power now, in the sense that now when it comes to haymakers and stuff like that, now it's more fluid. Instead of having the drawing of all the way back, drawing your fist all the way back and having that slow drawn out punch, now they make it more fluid now. You know what I'm saying, when you're throwing your power punches. But on top of that, your power punch can now be every punch. You can add power to every punch. So including your jab, you could throw some stiff jabs and knock somebody out with some powerful jabs. So let me see, there's that, and just one other thing here, just wanted to talk about is that, oh yeah, the pairing, when it comes to doing the parries now, the pairing window is gone. They removed that. So that's great. And also, when it comes to countering punches, they still have that gimmicky flash and everything. They have that flash in there that was, from Fight Night Round 4, but you can turn it off. So you can go into options and you can cut that off now. So that's cool. But there's more features in there, and also the stamina game. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The stamina game too. I really like how they tie everything into stamina. So it's like you just can't come out and just be flailing away, throwing all kind of punches all day, and then just expect to, not tire out. You know what I'm saying? So that's like having progressive fighting fatigue. So I like that they added that, because that's truly realistic, and they tuned it into your footwork, as well as swaying as well. So you just can't come out and just be swaying, dipping, and dodging all day, because your player will get tired, and all of a sudden he'll get gassed out and won't be able to sway with that evasiveness anymore. At least for a period until he recharges his stamina. So I really like that. But like I said, I'm gonna have the link for the article within the description. But this is just the other point that I want to make here. Now, like I said, I've seen some videos, and a lot of people are saying that this game is just going to be Fight Night Round 4.5. And just from looking at this list of gameplay refinements here, I really don't see that. And I mean, also, where has this game went wrong to honestly get that label? I mean, if you look progressively through all the games, where has it really fell off? I mean, would you come out and say Fight Night Round 2 is better than Fight Night Round 4? You know what I mean? Like, would you say Knockout Kings 01 is better than Fight Night Round 3 or Round 2 or something like that? I mean, no. It doesn't have that dynamic like NFL 2K5. You know what I'm saying? Like you can take NFL 2K5 and All Pro Football, and you can honestly have an argument in terms of which game is better. You know what I'm saying? Because you can go gameplay for gameplay on it. Clearly, if you take a Fight Night game from PS2 and you look at it on PS3 or Xbox, it's going to be dramatically different in terms of how the game plays, moves, feels, everything. You know, somebody probably look at you crazy if you said, "Oh man, Fight Night 2000, Fight Night '04, man, it's way better than Fight Night Round 4." Somebody will look at you like you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because that doesn't make sense. Like, in what way? Now, it may have a particular feature that Fight Night Round 4 didn't have, like, like the flash knockouts. That was back in Knockout Kings, or punching in the clinch or something like that. That may be a little instance that it may not have, but to just be like, this game overall is not touching the level of such and such or of this past game, that's not the case with Fight Night. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being straight up about it. The game has constantly improved every single instance. It's went up every single instance. So, that's why I'm saying, like, and that just to let you know how powerful the game is, and I'm talking about NFL 2K5. Some of you may have seen that Operation Sports did a poll for Sports Game of the Decade, and NFL 2K5 took the title. That lets you know that game had it in all aspects. It had it with gameplay, it had it with presentation, and that's from the users. That's from a user poll. That's not from critics. So that's letting you know right there. You know what I mean? Fight Night, like I said, and getting back to the Fight Night, I'm just saying that, to come out and say that it's only going to be a halfway improvement because of the few trailers that came out, that really doesn't say anything, because we see the gameplay in round 4, and if you have round 3, if you have some of those games from PS2 and everything, pop them in and play them. And then you could clearly see the difference, and then you'll come to the revelation and be like, "Oh yeah, that's true. The gameplay isn't what it is." You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way you're gonna put in Fight Night Round 2 and all of a sudden say that it's better than Round 4. That's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because the gameplay is nowhere near the same level, and you could go from Round 2 to Round 3, and it's nowhere near the same level. You see what I'm saying? But yet, with a game like NFL 2K5 and All Pro Football 2K8, you can clearly see that they are comparable on a level right there. You know what I'm saying? And it's debatable in terms of which game's better. So like I said, outside of presentation, I could see people arguing that the presentation, because that has been stagnant, but the gameplay has improved. And seeing from what this article has here from some of the community actually playing the game, this game is going to be a vast improvement. Until we see a demo or until we actually play something, we can't come to a true conclusion. But just from the gameplay enhancements alone, it's going to be better than Fight Night. It's going to be better than the last one. It's going to be better than Round 4. So we'll see what it is that develops. We'll see what happens when the game comes out. Okay? So on that note, I'm going to end it on that part right there. By all means, chime in on this. Like, I want to know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? I know that there are various users that have put up videos talking about Fight Night just straight falling off and everything, but it hasn't been proven yet. You know what I'm saying? They've been steadily making the game better over and over, like every single instance. You know what I mean? So, alright, on that note, this is your boy Smitty. I shall be getting back to y'all with more vids. Holla back. Peace.